Alright, welcome to episode dose number 2. So today, as you can see from the title of the video, is equipment. Equipment. So, what do I mean by equipment? I mean things like keyboards, mouses, monitors, computers, no consoles. If you want to be pro at Fortnite, there's no competition, dude. I mean, you can be a console player, but like the only thing you're ever winning is console cups. And that's just, I mean, maybe some victory cups in there, but like you do not compete with computer players. And that's facts. There's no way you can be good at this game if you're playing on a console. You can be good, but you can't be pro good unless you are actually really smart. But that's besides the point. So the first thing I want to talk about is something I actually recently done. I can go ahead and show you guys. This was my old keyboard. I know it looks fancy. It is the RK Royal Clutch RK84. That is my old not computer. That is my old keyboard. And you're probably asking why I'm showing you that. And that is because that keyboard does not have actuation points and high polling rate, and that is something that I need to talk to you about. I recently made the purchase to get the Ola 68HE with magnetic switches, and you're probably asking, why did I make that switch? First of all, I broke my keyboard. That is um, it's a separate thing, and also because this Ola has high polling rate and low actuation points. And what does that exactly mean? So polling rate is measured in hertz, the same thing as a refresh rate in a monitor, and it basically determines how often packets are sent to your computer to register, right? And obviously the higher the packets, the same thing as ping. The more packets are being sent, the better it is. And that goes with the refresh rate as well. So the more polling rate, the better. Better polling rate on the mouse equals faster reaction time, faster input delay. Same thing as the keyboard. Low actuation points, you barely have to press your little keys. I know you see that on the TikTok of like the banging on the desk and stuff. Um, but yeah, high polling rate, you need it. Low actuation, you need it. Zero input delay. Another thing I want to talk about is just this is my old mouse. This thing. Not the disc on Alienware, right? But this thing, God knows how much it weighs, okay? And a year ago, we made the switch, right? I would show you my old mouse, but it is broken in half, actually. I ordered, so I used to have the G Pro Superlight, right? And I recently smashed it. So we are downgrading to the Attack Shark. Not downgrading as dissing on Attack Shark, but there's nothing that beats the G Pro Superlight. But I just wanted to try Attack Shark's mouses and things because you never know, man. As a company I've never hit up before, never tried them, so I decided to try it. Why not? But speaking of this, obviously I'm gonna play like shit with this mouse. It's horrible. It fits my hand better, sure. I mean, look at that. I got big hands, dude. I got big hands. Obviously, I'm not gonna be clicking my buttons like this. Come on. I'm going to be using grips, which is something I will talk about soon, but I want to talk about the weight. Obviously, you don't want a mouse like those Zero mouses that are also on TikTok, and they're stupid. Zero mouses, they're dumb. I mean, you really don't need it to be that lightweight. You just need it to be decently lightweight so you're able to control the weight that you're using. And that's exactly what you need. I suggest around 20 to 40 grams. No more than 40, no less than 20 is necessary. Otherwise, they're very fragile and you will break your mouse easily. Something I also want to talk about is hand size. Really, it doesn't matter. You can change your grip on your mouse. Like for example, there's some people who play claw on a mouse. There's some people who just play flat and do this. There's some people who play on the edges. I play on the edges like this. That's how I play. That's how I've always played to begin with. I can do it on this mouse too. It's just how I've always played. That's something that you need to try out, debating on your hand size, obviously. Something I do want to talk about, a lot of people are skeptical of this, like especially CSGO players do this a lot because strafing. But uh, keyboard angle, that's something that is debatable. I angle 15%. So like a lot of people diss on the vertical or the horizontal playing. Some people tilt it. Some people tilt it even more. Some people play like this. Really, that's something you also have to mess around with to get comfortable with how you're playing on a keyboard, to get comfortable with your binds and everything. Uh, Something I want to talk about that I mentioned earlier was monitor refresh rates. Uh, Anything more than 120 and above, you're probably fine. Uh, but nothing below 120. If you're playing on something that's like 60, 75, you're cooked. You're not going to play good. I used to play on a 60 hertz monitor, and I was shit. Um, Something I also want to talk about is apps and tweaks and Crosshair X is all one big category. Um, so I use Crosshair X obviously because it's the best freaking app ever. Not sponsored by the way, because it is so much better than the Fortnite crosshairs. It's so much easier to aim. You can use pros settings. I use my own setting because I use on preference. It's kind of hard to create your own crosshair if you don't know what you're doing, but you can figure it out pretty easily. So definitely suggest getting Crosshair X. Not the V2's all right. Crosshair V2, the free one, it's all right, but just pay $5 for the Crosshair X, dude. It's not that much money. So, uh, yeah, just want to talk about apps. There's some apps that you can download that give you free tweaks, but I don't necessarily recommend it. I would usually get a professional tweak or tweak on your own, as in what I'm going to be talking about next, which is overclocking. If you have a shit computer, which most people watching this video probably do, not to diss on you guys, but um, overclocking is a big thing. Don't fry everything in your computer, but definitely overclock it if you want to. Something I want to talk about is investing in a good computer. You don't want to play on a crappy computer because how are you going to play good? That's literally the whole point of Fortnite is running better frames, better times. That's an advantage. Pay for it, dude. If you want to make money playing this game, pay for it. Um, the last kind of thing I want to talk about is internet and ping. Uh, Obviously, there's these little tweaks you can do for better ping, like DNS jumpers and changing DNS servers and all that kind of junk. DNS servers are actually something I would recommend. Go download, uh, it might be called DNS Jumper, and find the best DNS for you, set it in your settings and network settings, and you're good. Just play on it and update it every once in a while. Make sure that it's correct and it's not making you lag. Otherwise, it's pretty brief to talk about. Something I will talk about that isn't brief is Ethernet. If you're still playing on wireless Wi-Fi, what are you doing? There's no reason you should be playing on Ethernet. Um, I actually have my own Starlink, and that's also another thing I want to talk about is getting Starlink if you don't have access to the other internets. I played on a 10 megabyte per second internet, and I ran like 120 ping, and that's what I practiced on. And I recently got Starlink like a few months ago, and now we're normal. We're better than normal. It's so much easier. I'm running 30 ping, and I'm nowhere near Dallas. I'm nowhere near Texas. I'm across the United States from Texas, and I'm running 20 and 30 ping in game. Get Starlink. And so, in conclusion, this is all the equipment you need necessary if you want to go pro. And if you don't want to invest in this stuff, then you're just not going pro. It's the investments you have to make to be successful in this game. And I know it's a lot of money. I mean, it is a lot of money. There's a lot of equipment involved with being good and having good equipment. And that's like if you practice with better equipment, you're going to be better. And that's just that. If you don't have the money to invest in this game, you don't want to go pro enough. And that's all I got to say for today. And so next episode, we're going to be talking about crosshair placements and getting used to your equipment. Another thing I want to say is that this series is for everybody. Even though it sounds beginner friendly, there's going to be things in here, little things that you didn't know that you need to upgrade your setup, you need to start implementing into your workouts, you need to start implementing into your routines, your warm-ups, everything. And yeah, so stay tuned, make sure you watch every video, because if you don't, it's disrespectful, because I'm sitting here putting in my time, in my effort to create these videos for you. So watch all of my videos. With that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow, and I will be posting another video tomorrow to help you guys to get better at Fortnite. Alright, peace y'all.